Well, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. I know you guys probably like, why the heck does this man got a fish on the screen? You want me to tell you why I got a fish on the screen? I'm just admiring it. This is a very fantastic, nice, elegant fish right here. It's called a bias. I like to say it in my southern hospitality voice. And I know y'all probably like, why did he got this fish on this screen? We'll get there. We'll get there. Hold your horses. But I'm not sure if you guys ever heard of Miss Karen Bias. Oh yeah, LA Mayor, California fires. Resonating yet with you? I'll show you. I'll show you. I'll show you. This woman. So welcome back to the channel, folks. I was admiring that nice fish that you guys seen at the beginning of the stream. Okay. So we're going to dive into some important updates on disaster recovery, government bureaucracy, and how leaders are addressing the challenges communities face when rebuilding after natural disasters. We're talking about Trump's recent actions, Karen Bass's role, and how policies are being used or sometimes misused to move things forward. Stick around because this isn't just about politics. It's about people, progress, and accountability. And I showed that nice fish there at the beginning because you guys will see in this video that Miss Karen Bass likes to spew a lot of word salad. You know what I'm saying? Got a big mouth and talk too much, just like that beautiful fish we seen, right? So let's start with Trump's recent discussion, right, with Karen Bass. He's been urging her to expedite processes, particularly by using her emergency powers to address the slow-moving bureaucracy that's been holding people back. For context, emergency powers allow leaders to bypass traditional government hurdles, cutting through the red tape and getting things done faster, you think? So Trump himself has been leveraging these powers to push forward recovery efforts in disaster-affected areas. Why is this so important, you may ask? Well, the reality is that the permitting process for rebuilding homes after disasters can take months, even years. In California, for example, homeowners dealing with wildfires are often stuck in endless loops of paperwork just to access the damage on their own properties. Local governments are putting up roadblocks that prevent people from taking immediate action to rebuild their homes and lives. So this is where emergency powers can make a huge difference. They allow leaders to clear those obstacles and provide immediate relief. Now that I had prefaced the conversation so we can have a real conversation down in the comments below, let's check out some of the video.
Also on tariffs, I often agree with you on tariffs. But how about no tariffs on building materials for the next 3 years?
We'll take a look at that, actually.
Mr. President.
Take a look. Mayor, please.
Yes. First of all, let me just take the opportunity to officially welcome you to Los Angeles. Really appreciate you coming, and especially you come just a few days after your inauguration. So I want you to know that your presence here is very much appreciated. Let me also say that I know you had an opportunity to see the devastation. You've seen the extreme loss, the grief that people are going through here. And we are 100% committed to getting this neighborhood rebuilt again. You mentioned a couple of things in terms of us expediting. So I signed executive directives right away so that we could cut the red tape. We could get people back building as fast as possible. And we're going to continue doing that.
Yeah, the one thing is they are saying they will not be allowed to start for 18 months.
No. That will not be the case.
Okay, I just hope you're right.
You can hold me to it.
There's 4 groups said that.
No.
That would be they should be able to do it. They should be able to start tonight.
That will not be the case. First we have to take care to make sure that there's not getting rid of the hazardous waste, cleaning things up so that people can start right away. And just like you said, if somebody their house was destroyed and they're going to rebuild essentially the same, maybe a little bit longer, a little bit higher, they really shouldn't have to go through much of a process. So I want you to know that we are expediting that. We absolutely need your help. We need the federal help. You've
got it. I told you. You will have no permit problem. There will be zero delay. And as far as I'm concerned, you already have.
18 months? Ain't nobody got 18 months where they done lost everything. Are you crazy? Let's continue.
The permits.
And the resource.
I am more
Crazy. That's crazy.
I met at least 8 groups of homeowners, and I'm much more worried about the fact that they said it's 18 months exactly, and they were devastated. They want to start now. They want to start removing things. They're not allowed to do it now. And you mentioned hazardous waste. Well, the hazardous waste. What's hazardous waste? I mean, you're going to have to define that. We're going to go through a whole series of questions on determining what's hazardous.
Nope.
I just think you have to allow the people to go on their site and start the process tonight.
And we will.
Okay, good.
You can come back and check.
Last night, 18 months. So if that's not the answer, Mayor Bass, what is the answer? Because
What everybody said.
that's what we were all told last night.
Well, and let me just tell you that we are going to do everything we can, slashing regulations, expediting everything so that people can begin the process right away. You know, we have the Disaster Recovery Center on Pico and Westwood. We have building and safety there. People are already contacting the local agencies. We're bringing our city departments together so that people don't get caught.
Lady, this the word salad. That's why I mentioned the fish in the beginning, folks. When can they start? They want to start now. You're talking about people contacting each other, people saying they want to get started right away. You talking about hazardous waste and how we got to make sure people are safe based on the hazardous waste. But if it's all burnt to the ground and they just cleaning up debris, what is there anything hazardous about it when their whole house is to the ground? So Trump is like, define that. What is hazardous? So it can bring awareness to it. Add the full transparency and full context. Don't just throw out broad words and not substantiate your point, man.
In the loop of going from one room to the next. We want them all to be in the same room so that you can get busy rebuilding ASAP. Absolutely.
Clear the lots.
Yes. And we will clear the lots, absolutely, in the city and in the county. We are working together. Both levels of government are working in unity.
That'd be 18 months. Is it not 18 months? Is it like that's the answer that we got, and that's what we're all hanging on.
Yes.
So if you're telling us now faster, is it 6 months? Is it, I mean, all of our lives, rents, all this stuff is weighing on this.
6 months is no good.
And the number one thing that we are going to do immediately, and you will see this happen.
When? Yo, what's wrong with her? Yo, I have no other way but to come to the conclusion based on what I'm observing from my hypothesis, and I think is spot on, is she doesn't really want to take full accountability for the things she's saying, and she's telling Donald Trump, you can hold my word on it to start right away, but then she can't even say when. If you're going to start right away, it shouldn't be rocket science to say, this is when we're going to start, this is what. These people need some comfort and at least starting the process to rebuild their lives, women. You know how frustrating it is? They lost everything. Everything. See, it's always easier for someone to sit there and say word salad and talk around things, especially when it doesn't affect them.
Is to clear out the debris. And you know, we're concerned right now over the weekend because of the potential rain, but we are going to move as fast as we can, but we want you to be safe, and we want you to be back in your homes immediately.
But the people are willing to clean out their own debris. It doesn't cost a lot.
Yes, and they can.
You should let them do it, because by the time you hire contractors, it's going to be 2 years.
If a family...
The people are willing to get a dumpster and do it themselves and clean it out.
And they can.
There's not that much left. It's all incinerated.
That's right.
And, you know, it's just going to take a long time if you do. You can do some of it, but a lot of these people, I know that guy right there that's talking. I know my people. You'll be on that thing tonight, throwing the stuff away, and your site it'll look perfect within 24 hours, and that's what he wants to do. He doesn't want to wait around for 7 months till the city hires some demolition contractor that's going to charge him $25,000 to do his lot.
Yeah.
I think you have emergency powers just like I do, and I'm exercising my emergency powers. You have to exercise them also.
I did exercise them.
Because I looked, I mean, you have a very powerful emergency power, and you can do everything within 24 hours.
Yes. And if individuals want to clear out their property, they can. Well, yes, but you know that you will be able to go back soon.
Mr. President.
Oh my goodness. You see what I'm saying? She said they can clean out their lot. We'll start right away. You know, we just want to make sure you're safe. Oh, they'll be able to return to their homes soon. She's not giving it. See, this is why I say the grown folks are back in the office. Donald Trump is like, look, we can't wait no 6 months. We can't wait no 18 months. We got to get it done now. People are very encouraged to start. They lost everything and they want to get things back rebuilt. They want to start their lives over. They want to get the ball rolling. And that's Donald Trump resembles what true leadership is. Look, man, I bet you Mayor Karen Bass is not going to pick up no shovel. If I was the mayor, I'll be picking up a shovel. Let's go right now. Let's go. Let's go. We out there. So, but let's shift gears for a second to North Carolina, right? Because I think this coexists, or I should say correlates together. It connects. Where Trump recently visited North Carolina before heading to California, you know, having his meeting with Karen Bass and so forth. There, J.D. Vance has been actively working to help displaced families find housing. And this isn't just talk, it's real action being taken to ensure that people have a place to stay while they start the process of rebuilding and healing. Housing is a critical first step for recovery, and it's great to see this kind of leadership on the ground. One of the big moves that's enabling is the decision to halt federal funds going to foreign entities, right? And this decision is freeing up billions of dollars that could be now reinvested back into American communities. And think about that for a second. Money that was previously being sent overseas is now being redirected to help our own citizens rebuild their lives. It's a shift in priorities that's long overdue. And especially as America faces so many domestic challenges. For example, after Hurricane Florence hit North Carolina in 2018, recovery efforts were delayed by bureaucratic hurdles, red tape, right? FEMA assistance, state programs, local agencies all had to coordinate. The problem is the phone calls is too slow. Everybody need to be on the ground. They too busy trying to make a phone call, but it ain't doing nothing when it comes to executing on the ground. But this which often leads homeowners waiting for months. And this time there's a push to ensure those delays don't happen again. By cutting through the red tape and prioritizing funding, leaders are aiming to make recovery faster and more efficient. And that's what Trump and J.D. Vance are doing. So when it comes to federal emergencies, what do they really mean? So why are federal emergency declarations such a big deal? A lot of people might not realize this, but these declarations give the president the authority to bypass standard processes and act quickly. For example, during the pandemic, emergency powers were used to speed up vaccine production and distribution. Similarly, in disaster scenarios, they could be used to accelerate rebuilding efforts, deploy resources, and remove barriers that slow things down. So taking the permitting process for rebuilding homes is not just a minor inconvenience, it's a significant obstacle. In many states, it could take up to 6 months to even get approved to begin rebuilding, folks. By declaring a federal emergency, the President Trump, can sidestep these delays, allowing resources to flow directly to those who need them. This is something Trump has been vocal about. He's not trying to address the symptoms of disasters, but also the systematic inefficiencies that make recovery so difficult. So he's using these powers to strategically help people get back on their feet faster. Mind you, you got these sanctuary cities that are quick to declare emergency when helping these immigrants, and at the end of the day, using taxpayer dollars for individuals that are coming in the country, and in this case, America, illegally, to give them free food, to give them EBT cards or food stamps, to give them free housing all over the place, but they can't use the money that the people invested in. The American people invested in their money to get them back on the ground to rebuild their lives and build their homes. And they got to cut through all this red tape and all these bureaucracy hurdles and all of this crap, man. It's nonsense, man. This is crazy. It's frustrating. I'm frustrated for the people. And if you have any type of humane or sympathy, you would understand this is frustrating, man. And you can relate if you lost anything in your life. But let's continue.
We think within a week.
That's a long time, a week. I'll be honest. To me, everyone's standing in front of their house. They want to go to work, and they're not allowed to do it.
And the most important
week
thing is
a
for
long
people
time.
to be safe.
They're safe. They're safe. You know what? They're not safe. They're not safe now.
They don't have a home.
They're going to be much safer. A week is actually a long time, the way I look at it. I watched hundreds of people standing in front of their lots, and they're not allowed to go in. It's all burned. It's gone. It's done. Nothing's going to happen to it. It's not going to burn anymore. There's nothing to burn. There's almost nothing to burn. And they want to go in. The people are all over the place. They're standing, and I say, why aren't you going in? We're trying to get a permit, and the permit's going to take them. Everybody said 18 months. You said 18 months. You said 18 months.
That is crazy. Now, the case for permanent reform, right? Now, I don't really want to have the conversation. We're going to deep dive into it. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Should we consider making some of these emergency measures permanent? Imagine a system where federal and local governments are always prepared to act quickly without having to wait for any emergency declaration. For example, after a wildfire, right? Homeowners shouldn't have to fight through layers of bureaucracy just to clean up debris or start rebuilding. What if we had a streamlined process for disaster recovery that was always in place? This could include things like automatic approval for basic cleanup efforts, faster access to federal funds, or more accountability for local agencies that drag their feet. It's a bold idea, but one worth considering, especially as natural disasters become more frequent and severe due to climate change. And the current system is not just slow, it's also expensive. Delays cost money, and taxpayers end up footing the bill. By streamlining these processes, we could save billions of dollars, and more importantly, countless lives. It's about prioritizing efficiency and putting people first, the American people first, right? So, comparing leadership styles, right? Trump versus Biden and Harris. One thing that stands out here is the difference in leadership styles. In just a few days, Karen Bass mentioned it. He came down there within 5 days of being inaugurated as the president. Trump has taken decisive action to address the issues. And compare that to what we've seen over the past 4 years under Biden and Kamala Harris. Where was the urgency? Where was the focus on getting things done? Let's be real. We're gonna have the conversation now. We done watched the video. Now I'm just adding the context to it, and just so we could have a conversation. Let me know in the comments. Let's be real. Most people didn't even see Kamala Harris until campaign season. Meanwhile, Trump is already making tangible progress in his first week. This isn't about partisanship. It's about results. People want to see action, not endless debates or empty promises or word salad. And when you look at the numbers, Trump's approach is delivering results faster and more efficiently. So at the end of the day, this is about more than politics, right? It's about rebuilding communities, cutting through the bureaucracy and putting people first. Whether it's fast-tracking disaster recovery, redirecting federal funds back to the U.S., or streamlining the process, these are the kinds of changes that make a real difference. Now, I want to hear from you. Do you think that emergency powers should be used more frequently to bypass bureaucracy? Should we consider permanent reforms to make disaster recovery faster and more efficient? Drop your thoughts down in the comments below. I'm curious to see where you stand on this. As always, if you find this video valuable, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Your support helps us keep the conversations going and bring you the updates that matter the most. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video, folks. Peace.